Charlotte has once again found itself in the middle of a new immigration debate. This case has a lot of layers, and it involves this man. He was in federal court today for cutting off his ankle monitor, and he's also facing child rape charges. But now we're also tracing his case all the way to the border and a debate over detention centers and children. Channel 9's Tina Terry starts our coverage off tonight. And Tina, this all starts with the loophole that seems to have let this man into the country.
Well, yes, Oscar Leonardo Pacheco is in a Charlotte jail tonight, but his voyage to the United States started all the way back in 2016. That is when ICE officials tell us that he entered the U.S. with a child and then cut off an ankle monitor designed to help the government keep track of him. ICE says the U.S. deported Oscar Pacheco back to his home of Honduras in July of 2006. 10 years later, in 2016, they say he came back, this time with the child. And they say because of the child, he was allowed to enter the country, but was assigned an ankle monitor similar to this, a monitor federal prosecutors say he cut off that same year and was on the loose. It's unclear why Pacheco came with the child or if the child belonged to him.
No child should be a pawn in a scheme to manipulate our immigration system.
This week, Acting Homeland Security Secretary Kevin McAleenan said immigrants bringing children to the border intentionally hoping to get in is fueling the crisis at the border.
Human smugglers advertise, and intending migrants know well that even if they cross the border illegally, arriving at our border with a child has meant that they will be released into the United States to wait for court proceedings that could take 5 years or more.
Last week, we told you CMPD arrested Pacheco and charged him with sex crimes against a child. He made bond and left Mecklenburg County's jail despite an ICE request asking the sheriff to hold him. ICE found and arrested him nearly 2 months later. But as ICE looked into deporting him, federal documents say he was indicted by the U.S. attorney, accused of cutting that ankle monitor and violating supervised release. Yeah, today prosecutors in the courtroom argue that Pacheco should remain in jail without bond because of that ICE detainer that is currently out on him. The judge and those who were defending him agreed with that, and he will remain in jail here in Charlotte until his next court hearing. Back to you.
All right, Tina, thank you. Pacheco's hearing comes 2 days after the federal government lifted a cap on how long ICE could detain children and their families. The rule was after 20 days, families had to be let go. Homeland Security says that made the problem of people using little kids to force their way into the country much worse. Now, ICE can hold those families as long as it takes to get them through the hearings.